Hey friends, it's Rana and I'm here today to talk about problematic authors. I just sat down without no outline for this video and I didn't write any script for it. So if I start being rambly or this video start becoming all over the place and chaotic, I apologize in advance because I just want to sit down and talk with someone about all these thoughts that's been running in my head lately, but I will try to make it as short and organized as possible. So, if you don't know, problematic authors are authors who people deems to be problematic for many reasons for something they have said, did, or wrote in their books. This thing can be racist, sexist, or let's say transphobic. And when this unfortunate thing happens, some readers will go on the internet and start talking about how problematic this author is, what they did, and demanding people to stop supporting these authors and stop reading books by them. Some cases I'm on the side of the author, some cases I'm on the side of the people, but sometimes I think people just go overboard with these things. Some people even go the extra mile to accuse readers who decide to read this problematic author books, whether they know what this problematic author did or not, they start accusing them for being problematic the same way the author is. Like, if the author is sexist, they start saying that the readers who read their books are also sexist or racist or wherever the case is. I really don't like the problematic author phrase or the cancel culture behind it, because the problematic author phrase can include minor cases like author that wrote or tweeted something or said something in an interview 7 years ago and they apologized for it, but people still call them problematic for it. And it also will include extreme cases like killer authors or racist authors, but it includes everyone. That's why I don't like it. And people go like crazy, batshit crazy, for canceling these authors. A lot of cases are justifiable for people to cancel the author, but you can't demand people to stop reading their books. You can educate someone about something horrible that an author did or said, and if they decide to continue supporting that author and to continue reading that author's books, that's it. It is up to them. It is a personal choice. You don't have to lose your mind because someone decided to read a book by a problematic author. You don't want to read their books, it's up to you. You are free to do whatever you want. And people are also free to read their books, whether you like it or not. For me, I like to separate the art from the artist. I have this criteria for separating the art from the artist. It is in my mind. I can't explain it, and it is like a case-by-case situation. I have like a line that I want to cross with authors and I want to support them, like killers, authors who turn to be a killer or a sexual assaulter, abusers. These people I will always not support and not read books by them. For example, Delia Owens. It is an author that I refuse to read her popular book or any book she ever writes, and it is the Where the Crawdads Sing. And there is a whole lot of drama behind it that has been going on for many years, but it didn't stop other people from reading her books, because what I consider is a red line to not cross and to cancel some authors for, other people don't care and won't patronize for it, like for this author, Delia Owens. The things she did in her past didn't stop people from reading her books. It has over 2.5 million ratings on Goodreads and it has a movie. Will I be bitter that people are reading the book that I refuse to read and support the author of? Of course not. I'll be a little bit sad, but it won't affect my day-to-day life. Another case for me is Sarah J. Maas. I've been uninterested in her books for many, many years since I discovered the book community and booktube and whatever, and everyone loved her books, her trashy books, and I refused to read them for no reason other than I know that they are not the books for me to enjoy. It is not my taste to enjoy these types of books. However, I recently discovered that she is a Zionist and she supports Israel. This is a big red flag for me. I don't support anyone who is a Zionist, but it didn't stop people from continue reading her books and supporting her. Every time she drops a new book, everyone on booktube loses their minds, start making reading vlogs talking about every single minor stupid detail in her books. And I rarely hear about how she is a Zionist who supports an entity, organism, who keep killing Palestinian people. People don't care. That's what I found, that people really don't care. And it is just an extra thing for me, an extra reason for me to not support her or read anything by her. And it is really important for me not to support people who are Israelis. Many booktubers who are Sarah J. Maas fans don't even care about that. They will keep supporting her and spending their monies on her fairy porn books. And that's the case. Something I might consider problematic, you might consider as something normal, or you don't even care about it. And something else, like you might consider it like a big deal, the end of the world, and I found it to be silly for me. I just miss the old good days where we went into a bookstore, picked a book, read the back of it, the synopsis, and it interested us. It sounds like something we might enjoy, so we bought it and go back to our homes and read it without having any preset idea about the book or the author, without researching the entire history, every interview, every tweet the author made. And let's be honest here, most of the time I really don't care. I really don't care what authors do or say in their lives. I don't give a single flying fuck about what they say or do. And even if they did something problematic that I deems problematic, I will inform people about it, tell them that, well, just FYI, this person this and this, or did some this and this and this. And that's it. I won't go out of my way and start crying out loud under every single YouTube video talking about, for example, Sarah J. Maas, and start attacking the person who decided to read her books and support her. I won't do that, and I don't understand why some people do that to me sometimes for a specific author that I'm gonna talk about now. Okay, let me tell you this. Everyone is problematic to some degree. Whether you like it or not, or whether you want to admit it or not, everyone is a little bit problematic in someone else's eyes. You all will be still spending monies on J.K. Rowling, buying the latest special edition of Harry Potter, if she was smart enough and kept her mouth shut without talking about her transphobic ideas all over Twitter. But when she started tweeting these things, you all start losing your shit and decided collectively to cancel her. Just because she doesn't believe that trans women are not real women. When the issue of canceling J.K. Rowling started happening on the internet, and people started unhauling her books and crying all over the internet that your idol ruined your life because she is transphobic, and you started crying and burning her books and getting rid of them and attacking other people for still having her Harry Potter books on their shelves. Getting rid of a problematic author's books won't solve the problem. You already spent the money on the books. You already supported that author. So getting rid of the books won't help it. But attacking other readers and content creators for reading Harry Potter or for still having the Harry Potter books on their shelves on display is a little bit extreme and stupid in my opinion. Some people, I'm not one of them by the way, I read Harry Potter when I was over 20 years old when I was in uni, but some people grew up with Harry Potter. They grew up with the books, reading them, loving them, going to the movie every time a new one is released. So it was a big part of their childhood and it sparks joy for them and nostalgia. But now they feel guilty every time they talk about it, or they stopped even talking about it because they are scared of being called transphobic like J.K. Rowling. It is really not that hard to admit the wrongdoing of an author and still loving their books, especially if you already bought the books and read them many years ago, before all the problematic things that the author did. I saw many cases over the years of problematic authors getting cancelled, but there is no worst case than J.K. Rowling. Like, people canceling her are the worst because they didn't just cancel her, they canceled everyone, even mentioning Harry Potter or anything related to Harry Potter. Every time I briefly mention a Harry Potter character or a book in the Harry Potter series in one of my videos, I lose like tens of subscribers just because I mentioned it. Me mentioning a Harry Potter book or a Harry Potter character doesn't really mean that I support J.K. Rowling. You need to understand the thing called separating the art from the artist. I didn't grow up reading Harry Potter, but I have been planning to reread the books for like 3 years now, but I was scared that if I reread them and talked about them in some videos, people will start attacking me because I am rereading it. If the things that J.K. Rowling said really affected you, what do I have to do with it? I'm just reading the books. I'm not saying that I'm supporting J.K. Rowling. I'm just talking about the damn books. And I'm actually planning of rereading the entire Harry Potter series in the winter, and I will talk about them in my videos. If you don't like that, unsubscribe from now. I don't really care. Just let people read whatever they want without shaming them. They are not the one that did you harm or affected you in any way. They are just reading a book. A content creator here on booktube once said, and I won't mention any names here, but they said that how embarrassing that you are choosing your nostalgia and memories over the rights of actual human beings. Like what? I simply don't understand the mentality some people have. How continuing enjoying reading or watching Harry Potter has anything to do with your human rights? How weak are your beliefs or your personality for you to get affected by the tweets of a middle-aged white woman on Twitter? Why do you care so much about her opinions? How does it affect your human rights in any way? She isn't demanding the death of trans people. She isn't demanding the deportation or jail of them. She is just saying that she doesn't believe that, trans women aren't real women or something like that. How does it affect your rights in any way? I just don't understand these people who demand you to cancel the authors they don't like and boycott them like them just because they find them problematic or because of the things that they say or do. Like, I have myself a long list of authors that I deem problematic. They are problematic under my eyes, and I hate them, hate their books, and everything they write, but I don't go around demanding people to hate them like me and to cancel them like me. That's what I noticed a lot in the book community. You just pick and choose what authors you want to cancel, at what authors to let them do whatever they want, especially if it doesn't affect you. Let me say that. I'm not trying to offend any of you, but I feel like people, especially people from the West, are sensitive snowflakes. They get affected by people's opinions so damn fast. Middle Eastern / Arab / Muslim people has been misrepresented in the media and attacked by the media, whether in movies or books, especially in movies, for so many years now. But we just ignore it and keep thriving. And you know why? Whenever we stand against it, people start attacking us again for standing for our own beliefs, and they call it, how can I call it? They call us sensitive because they think whatever they represent us in the media and whatever they do, it is freedom of speech. So we reached a point where we just ignore it, especially in books and media, unless it is something that has to do with our religion. It is like, no, we need to stop, don't do that. Like the recent things that happened about burning the Holy Quran, and they started saying that it is a freedom of speech. You can burn any religious book you want. It is a freedom of speech. Don't make a big deal of it. Well, it is a big deal for us. I know I've been talking for a minute now, but let me say this final thing. Some authors are problematic, and I know they are problematic, like for, let's say, Stephen King. He is racist, he is sexist, and it shows in his books, but I keep reading his books because I enjoy some of them. Not all of them, I enjoy some of them, and I keep reading them. Not supporting him won't affect him in any way because people has been addressing his sexism and racism for years now, and he doesn't care, and he keeps doing it in his books. It is less severe now than his older books, but he still keeps doing it. And he is a millionaire, so me not reading his books won't affect him in any shape or form. Mind you, I don't buy his books with my own money. I most of the time read them as pirated books. As for authors being cancelled for misrepresenting a group of people in their books, is a bit much to me. If they were doing their best to try to represent them as correctly as possible, and they did a little mistake and admit it and said that we're sorry about the misrepresentation we did in our book, we will try to fix it, I don't mind it, really, honestly, if they were genuine about it. But back to our J.K. Rowling, and I'm really sorry for mentioning her a lot in this video, but she is like number one, the most problematic author in the world right now. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but let's not be afraid to talk about and speak out of our beliefs, because me not speaking about it doesn't really erase it. I didn't really follow all the things she tweeted, J.K. Rowling. I didn't read every single tweet she tweeted, but from the ones I read, I am afraid to say I sometimes found myself to be agreeing with her, not because I'm transphobic, but because of my beliefs, social, religious, scientific, and logical beliefs. That's why I'm saying this. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate of it, and I don't know if I'm gonna include this in my video, but I will say it. In my religion, it is not acceptable to change your sex that you were born with if there's no medical reason behind it, urgent medical reason behind it. If you say that you feel like you have that God put you in the wrong body, that's why you are transitioning, it is like borderline blasphemy. So you being a transgender is against my religion if you are a Muslim. But I don't really care if you identify as a trans and you want to transgender and you are all under all that process. I really don't care. It doesn't affect me, but I don't support it. Because in our religion, God made us in the perfect way, in the perfect shape, in the perfect form. And you denying that and deciding that no, it is not the right body for you, and you start changing it by taking hormones and going under the knife, it is against our religion. It is haram in our religion. Unless there is a medical reason and proof behind it, and the doctors deems that you need to go under the knife to be a transgender, then that's a whole another case. And it is not just for transitioning. Anything that changes the body that God gave you is not allowed unless something affects your day-to-day life and it affects you medically, so you change it. Doing plastic surgeries and having plastic surgeries just for the case of beauty and nothing else is not allowed. For example, if you have a broken nose or you have something wrong in your nose, making it hard for you to breathe, you can go under the knife and do a plastic surgery to fix it. But if there's no reason for you to go under the knife, unless you just want to make your nose smaller and thinner, it is not allowed. It is haram. So this case is the same for transgender and transitioning in Islam, because you are changing the way God created you. And why I'm telling you that? Because the whole J.K. Rowling turf transphobic issue didn't really make a big issue in the Middle East and in Muslim countries, because it is really rare to have trans people in these countries, and it is not an issue for us. That's why we didn't mind what she said, because it is not a big deal here. Actually, a lot of people supported her, saying that she is right about what she said. And I'm not here to say whether she was wrong or she was right. I'm just here to say that I really don't care what authors say, especially if they say it outside from the context of their works and books. As I said earlier in this video, I don't care what the authors do or say in their life and what their choices or political agendas, unless they are like a killer, abuser, assaulter. Other than that, it is like a case-by-case scenario. Let me know if you would like me to share a list of all the authors that I deem problematic and I cancelled. But let me know if you'd like to see that video, because I really want to make it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to see my future videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!